Joe, you guys have had a lot of big games, obviously, all over in Tennessee and so on. Arkansas is really struggling. How does that impact the prep and all that?
I mean, our prep is the same as it's been for Transylvania and IUP. You have a little bit more information at this time of year, so your preparation is actually probably more intense because you have more information. So I think there's nothing that has changed. We were done at Rupp, 6 o'clock on Saturday night. We kind of start taking a look at Arkansas in a more intense fashion. We saw the kids Sunday afternoon and went through our normal Sunday prep the same way we did last Sunday and the Sunday before that, basically every Sunday in conference play. So there's nothing any different. We'll go through a normal practice today, probably go hour 45, 2 hours, depending on how long coach wants to go. And you got a 9 o'clock game tomorrow, so you got a good shoot around. It's the same. There's nothing that changes other than the guys in the jerseys on the other team, and you just got to make sure our guys are in the right frame of mind to be at their best tomorrow night.
Why do you think Arkansas has struggled so much?
I think that's a good league. Every time you take the floor in our league, you've got to, kind of buckle your chin strap. You got to be focused. You got to be ready to score the ball on offense. You've got to be ready to defend. Teams are versatile as they've ever been in this league. I think it speaks to the quality of coaching. You've got great assistant coaches. You've got great facilities. You've got tradition. People are trying to win games. And every time that we take the floor, we're aware of that. I think I've said that about our players, that they're aware of how good the basketball in this league is. They're aware of how good the individual talent is. They pay attention in reports. They pay attention when they're, kind of on their own. So it's a fantastic basketball league, and I think it speaks more to that than it does one team, struggling per se.
You don't want a guy to tell on himself, as Cal said, Keldon, they said about other guys, and Keldon did with 17 rebounds. What is it like for that guy the next few days with Cal? And is that one of those things he kind of just keeps hammering to him?
We'll see. I think that's we'll see probably about halftime, Tuesday night, just to kind of see kind of where Keldon is. I think Cal has just been big on attempts, and that's something that we chart. And I'm not sure how long Coach has done that. I'm pretty sure he's done it his entire time as a head coach, where we look at every single shot, both that we take to chart offensive rebounding attempts as well as then defensive when we're on defense, and that's something that he's been big on. He's been big with Keldon. He's been really big with PJ, and our last game, the numbers were as high as they've ever been across the board. So I know he was happy with that. I know the kids were obviously happy with their performance. And his big thing is if you don't attempt, there's no way you can get them. I think in terms of Cal saying they tell on themselves, we'll see. I don't know.
Did you define attempts? That seems a little fuzzy, kind of open to interpretation.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's not something as black and white as whether the ball goes in the hole or you get the rebound. I think it's more of, you got to hit rewind 4 times, and okay, do you feel that PJ went after this ball? Do you feel that Keldon went after this ball? And there's certain. Like you said, it's obviously subjective. If you're contesting a shot, you're not going to get dinged for that one. That's really just But there's 4 other guys that are either blocking out or attempting to go after the ball. So same thing on offense. If you take the shot, you're not expected to then attempt to rebound. So it is a subjective stat, but the same people do it each game. So it's.
Who's in charge of that?
We are.
Charting that.
Yeah, we are.
So is that the most tedious part of your job, the rebound attempt?
I mean, it's a blessing to work here. We're excited every single day with what you can do, and Go Cats.
PJ and Ashton have obviously improved their jumpers a ton throughout this season. They kind of just said that they've been putting up work. Can you kind of give us an idea of how much work they have been putting in?
Yeah, I mean, those guys I think have always had a professional approach, to when they, have been here. I think it's also pretty well documented that PJ has taken his workload and effort to another level. And same with Ashton. I think it's about time, but it's also about, both quality and quantity when you're working at your craft. And I think both of those guys have put time in, in a kind of, I guess you would say, just a kind of foundation of their game, but also trying to improve in the big picture, of at the next level of what their game could be like, but also just working on the fundamentals, of shooting, whether that's just kind of some standstill, some, form shooting, but it's all building confidence, and I think that when you're in the gym and you're by yourself or you're with another teammate, you're building your confidence, and that's something that we, stress, and I think both those guys have bought into.
What do you think's more impressive in this ball club, the way that the scoring has been lights out, or the defense holding teams to 50 points, 47 points? What do you think could be more impressive just looking at it from the outside in?
I think if you look at it from the inside I think you're looking at your defense, and I think if you're looking at it from the outside in, I think you've got to say the defense, from where we were in November to where we are now. I think you look at individuals and how they've gotten better. I think you look at our group, collectively, that we've gotten better. I think that has to speak to not only our players but our head coach, and how he's able to take a group of guys every year and stress defense, but at the same time get guys playing at their absolute best, on offense. Not one guy is falling behind offensively. They're getting better. But I think you also see individuals that are now being talked about as great defenders. But most importantly, I think the guys in that locker room see themselves as great defenders for the first time probably ever in their life. These guys have never been asked to play defense. They've never been demanded to play defense. Probably somewhat of the opposite. Don't foul, don't get in foul trouble. We need you to score. And this group has really bought in, and it's fun to see guys play defense and gain confidence from that. But that's nothing new. I mean, you've seen Malik Monk buy into defense. You've seen Isaiah Briscoe, really defend. And now you've seen guys like Keldon Johnson and Tyler Hero really, buy into defense, and the joy that they have is fun.
How much of a challenge is Daniel Gafford in terms of containing himself?
No, I mean, you look at a guy that, that shoots 85% around the rim, that is a tremendous finisher. He's a guy that you've got to do your work before he gets the ball, and that's obviously easier said than done from all of our standpoint. It's a big challenge for our guys, a big challenge for our young guys, and it would be a big challenge for anyone. Obviously, you see that, by his numbers and his production this season. So it's great for our guys, and once again, it's a challenge, and we've got to see where we are, tomorrow night.
How did EJ and Nick play Saturday with their increased minutes?
I think we were happy. I think you're wanting them to play with energy and confidence, and that's something that I think they demonstrated the entire night. I think you look at the block shots, which is something that coaches has been on them about, and for them to get out and do that, it gives us a spark. I think everyone is always rooting for Nick. I think we're wanting EJ to do the same thing, and once again, it's a big challenge tomorrow night with Daniel Gafford, and you see kind of where those guys are.
Is EJ one of those guys? His actual rebounding numbers are way up. Is he one of those guys you've seen his attempts spike and
Yeah, I think EJ's always been a guy that is, active, and he's trying. Sometimes, as you see with young guys, sometimes they're maybe slightly out of position, but he's a guy that every single game is getting better. Is grasping the concepts of team defense and transition defense. And once again, I mean, he's not much different than a lot of the guys that play here. As he gets better every single time he takes the floor for practice, and every time he's on the floor for games, he gets better.
Do you guys look ahead, and I know the answer, but do you guys look ahead to the idea of number 1 seed, get to Louisville, home crowd and all that?
No. No, I mean, I don't. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know where the other. I know that Louisville is one because everybody else is talking about it. I mean, you read, stuff on the internet, or you read Twitter, and you see that. But to be honest, I mean, we haven't discussed that one bit. And Coach Cal has not discussed it one bit with our guys, and you could probably ask them. They probably don't even know how many teams are in the NCAA tournament.
Time for 1 or 2 more, guys.
How's Reed doing?
Great. Yeah, I mean, he's doing what he needs to do. I know that he's working. He's once again. Reed Travis. Is the ultimate professional in terms of how he approaches every single day on the floor, off the floor, and he's attacking rehab right now. The same way he attacked his body in the summer, same way he attacked playing differently, and he's that guy now that's got a different challenge ahead of him, and that's getting his body back to being 100% and ready to go whenever that time may be.
How much time do you spend looking at Twitter?
Too much. Yeah, way too much. Twitter and probably tennis shoes. Those are my 2 vices.
Who's your favorite follow?
My favorite follow on Twitter. No, I think he does follow me. I don't know that I would probably say one, but I know that I'd make somebody upset if I said one or the other. But I don't know. I think it was a big day when
You're just getting caught up in the clutter right now.
it was a big day when I got here when Cal followed me. I think that was my big one when I first started working here, and Cal followed me because I know he went to the thing and pushed the button. That was a big day.
Has Cal ever handed you his phone and made you tweet for him?
No, but I've taken a lot of pictures. I do take a lot of pictures. And I think here I'm gonna let you do this. So that's usually how it goes. So.
All right, guys. We got to play back this one.